years of strength, will, and desire, building a future for me and you. Let's get inspired and shine the spotlight on the CUSW. Hello, and welcome to the CUSW Spotlight Podcast, brought to you by the Canadian Union of Skilled Workers, established in 1999. CUSW has been empowering its members and shaping the future of skilled trades for over 25 years. In this podcast, we shine a spotlight on the people, stories, and values that make CUSW a strong and dynamic community. It's an exciting time to be part of this union, and we're here to celebrate the journey, achievements, and dedication of skilled workers. So turn up the volume and let's get started. Here's your host for the CUSW Spotlight Podcast, Mr. Dan Plexman.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the CUSW Spotlight Podcast. On this episode, we have Michelle Holmes. Michelle Holmes is a person that makes you believe anything is possible, especially if you're a woman in the trades, putting on a hard hat for the first time or picking up a set of tools for the first time. She's spent nearly 2 decades working at the Bruce Power Plant, but she's done so much more. She's been lighting the way for electricians for 20 years now, mentoring and really showing people the way of how to be a tradesperson. We're all very lucky to have her on the job site and as well within our union. From the tools to the training room, she's really done it all. She really has. She's also the recipient of the Women in Nuclear Canada's 2025 Mentor of the Year Award. And I know she's very proud to receive this prestigious award. And like I said, she's done so much than what I've just mentioned. Maybe we'll get into talking to her and introduce her. Hello, Michelle. How are you today?
Hi, Dan. I'm great. I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much for that wonderful introduction.
It makes it easy with a guest like you. Your accomplishments within the union, within the industry itself, they really surpass most people. They really do, especially in the 20 years that you've been involved with the CUSW. We're all very proud to have you. And I know I said you've been with Bruce Power and with CUSW for almost 2 decades. But I know there's a lot more before that happened. Maybe we could start from a little bit before that. And how did you get into the electrical trade? We'll start from there.
Oh, that's a good question. I wanted to be an electrician right out of high school. Well, at first I didn't know what I wanted, but I talked to my father, who's also an electrician, and he's with CUSW as well. And he talked to me about doing it because I was very skilled with my hands and tools, and he thought it would be a good fit. So at the time I was coming out of high school, I applied to the union that was available at the time, and unfortunately didn't get an interview and didn't get accepted. So I went off and pursued another career, which happened to be aviation. I have my commercial pilot license, and that one changed quickly because life sometimes happens. And events came around and I had to get out of that, eventually coming back around to reapplying, and at the time was able to reapply to CUSW. And when I got accepted in 2006, I was the first female apprentice to complete her apprenticeship at the Bruce site and with Bruce unit under CUSW. So it took a bit, but I'm very happy to be in this position and doing what I do now.
Yeah, it's funny how life just kind of happens. And sometimes you think you're going to go one way and then you realize this isn't my way. With our work together, we've had a lot of good conversations and we've bonded, especially with the aviation industry and the aviation field. I myself, I wanted to be a commercial pilot. I've got my private pilot's license and I was like an inch away from getting my commercial. And even though it seemed so glamorous at the time, once I got into it, I realized it's just not for me. And then I jumped into the trades, and we've talked about this before, and it's kind of like a bonding moment for us. And we've had some very common interests going along the way. So it's kind of neat how we've come along, and we never knew each other either. The same age. It's nice.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. And when we sat down to talk, the connections, I was like, oh, I could definitely have a great podcast conversation with Dan.
Yeah, exactly. And we've both been with the union relatively the same amount of years. And we really connected maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, where we really worked together side by side at some of our capacity building meetings and at the conferences we've attended and the conventions as well. Um, and just a few weeks ago, we were doing the same thing. And it's just nice to make this connection and share these common grounds.
Agreed.
Yeah. Getting back to your particular role within the Bruce Power plant and reading your biography, I didn't realize you started your apprenticeship there and you've held many positions. Like you started your apprenticeship, you got your journey person ticket, then sub foreman, foreman, general foreman. Are there any other positions you've held during this course?
Yes, actually, I've been team lead for the Unit 2 stator turbine outage back in 2016, which is a really interesting spin-off. And then recently I've been able to get into training, which I found that's where I can make the biggest impact. That's where I meet the most of our members. And I'm absolutely loving the training environment. I'm performing our electrical training as well as safety training. So it's fulfilling both knowing that I've been able to help people keep themselves safe and also engage with our CUSW members at the same time. I kind of have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, like from the tools to training, you've really done it all within the industry and within our union. And we're all very proud to have you participating and really pushing us forward.
Thank you. I've met so many people along the way that have helped propel me forward. So I'm thankful to a lot of our members and past members as well.
Right. In my introduction, I mentioned that you're a recipient of the Women in Nuclear Canada's Mentor of the Year Award. Would you like to talk a little bit about that and how it all came to be?
Oh, definitely. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, I I was very surprised, to say the least, to find out that I was nominated, and I was nominated by one of our members, and that's humbling in itself. But when I first started this journey with Women in Nuclear and with CUSW, I just started helping others, being a stand-up, a mentor, talking to young women who were looking at possibly getting into the trades. And then I went on to do more of that and participating more through Women in Nuclear as well. They asked me to be a speaker at one of their conferences in front of 500 members at the CNA conference as well. I've had a
Pressure.
lot of opportunities. It's been really phenomenal. And in that, it's given me some connections to help out the Canadian Union of Skilled Workers as well. One of the things I was able to help out with was bring some high level sponsors to our event with Interval House of Hamilton. And that was just being able to do that was big as well. But when I was nominated for the Mentor of the Year, I kind of thought at first that maybe how did I become a mentor? It wasn't something I thought I was doing. And when in fact I was doing it all along. So I looked at some of the members who were mentors of mine within our union, specifically John Wabb and Tom McLean were huge mentors of mine right from the start. Tom had always taken me under his wing to do everything and volunteered me for things like the Constitution Committee chair as well,
Yeah,
which looking back was one of the best things that I've said yes to. So I
right.
thank them for being my mentors.
Are you sure the term wasn't not volunteer, but voluntold?
Um, that was it.
Yeah, exactly. I really appreciate John Wabb and Tom McLean as well. And they've been with CUSW from before I started, that's for sure. And the 20 years I've known of them and worked with them, they've been really guiding lights for me as well.
Oh, yes. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. We talked about the women in nuclear. With our industry, this trade, there's all these different acronyms flying around. Another acronym that I noticed on your biography was STEM. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, science, technology, engineering, and math, right?
Right. Yes.
That's the foundation of a lot of what we do, and a lot of the mentoring that's done within women in nuclear as well centers around that. Uh, I've noticed a lot of connections with other industries, and that can lead right into the trades. Even my son, who is very science oriented, very technical, he's talking about getting into engineering. And of course, being that my family is all electricians, my father is an electrician, my husband's an electrician, my son's father is an electrician, we have uncles, like everybody's an electrician. I said to him, the best engineers are ones that start in the trades. But
Yeah,
I support either way he goes. I'm sure I'll be able to speak engineer if he decides to take that route.
for sure. It would be nice to have him in our group here, but at the same time, if he's the one making the drawings and the design plans for the work that we do, even better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it is a common thing in the industry and actually across the world where I think I read somewhere 50 to 70% of workers basically do the same thing that their parents have done. And it just happens that way.
It's familiarity, right? What you're used to. And especially if your parents are actually a good role model and a mentor, it tends to be the way you lean. And
Yeah,
my father did that for me.
yeah, exactly. That's how my dad was. My dad was a pilot. My uncle was a pilot. My cousins are pilots. It was just one of those family things. And I I got into it because of that. And it's wasn't my job, but it was something that the family always did. And same thing, the same jobs my dad did. My dad was a truck driver. I was a truck driver for a while. You just kind of do that stuff, how it works.
Oh, yeah. When, funny story. When I was a little kid and my mom was really into baseball, I decided I wanted to be a professional baseball player just because she was into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just she's a strong woman as well, and you do what you see.
Yeah, that's actually kind of funny talking about being a professional athlete. My dad was on the farm team for the Detroit Red Wings, so the Adirondack.
Wow.
Yeah, and I never played hockey a day in my life. That was the disappointment, I guess, of the family. I was more into skiing when I was a young guy, but it was just one of those things where I didn't follow that end of things. Yeah.
I'm sure you were never a disappointment.
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe sometimes, but we always have our days.
Well, those we're gonna keep those things quiet, right? Because I might have those too.
Yeah, exactly. Um, where do we go from here? Actually, I would like to know a little bit more about you're the co-lead of Be More Than a Bystander. And I know this is within our group as well. Can you tell the audience a little bit more about that?
Oh, certainly. I would love to talk about that. In 2021, I was one of the co-founders of the Tradeswomen Committee. And at that time, one of our primary focuses and initiatives was to help end violence and harassment against women within the trades. And that's a huge undertaking. So we started looking into groups within our industry that were already doing a Be More Than a Bystander program, which is a program that specifically focuses on helping young men become allies when it comes to the fight against violence and harassment. And we reached out to BC Women in the Trades. They had a program going on which was called Be More Than a Bystander. And in that program, their leaders within their union, actually, the men worked with the BC Lions, and they worked in the program to train each other to be better allies. And so we decided to take that information and try to bring it to Ontario. And within Ontario, we were connected with Interval House of Hamilton. And Interval House of Hamilton has been a absolutely phenomenal partner in this. And they had a program where they had been working with young men, teaching them how to stand up and do the right thing when it really mattered. And they had not yet branched out into helping unions. And so when we came along, we worked together to build a program that connected the unions and their training so that we could change the culture within the trades. And that's ultimately what we've been still trying to do. There's a long way to go, but we've come a good distance already.
What a beautiful prime example of meshing strong people with strong people and then more strong people together. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it.
Oh, it's been phenomenal. And in that, we've actually brought together a fundraiser we call our gala, our Mentor Action Now gala. It was previously Be More Than a Bystander, but in that, we've brought together our industry partners, and in that, we're going to facilitate a conversation where they can bring that training to their membership and to their workers and hopefully
Nice.
open it up even further.
Nice, nice. That makes sense to me, starting a conversation, because relationships don't start without a conversation. Things don't get built without a conversation. And mentorship doesn't happen without a conversation. When I first started working in the trades when I was like 16, I was working on a picker truck with my dad getting yelled at. And even though I learned a lot, it's not the way things really should be, but that's just how it was back then. So
Mhm.
for us to have these opportunities and to have this safe, comfortable workspaces and areas that we actually create to have these kind, comfortable conversations, it just makes us all stronger.
Oh, it does. It really does. It's funny you brought up the conversation about your dad. I also worked side by side with my dad. I felt that he was tougher on me than he was on the other apprentices he was working with. So I called him on it one day. I said, why are you tougher on me? And he said, because I have to be. He says, being a woman in the trades, you can't just be an equal. You have to perform at a higher level in order to be taken as an equal. And that statement there, I took it to heart, thinking, wow, why do we have to work so much harder? Maybe we can work on the culture so that
Right.
we can show what we can do and we're accepted
Yeah.
rather than having to push ourselves potentially beyond our own um, safe zone.
Right. Yeah. I never actually thought about it like that, because I think my dad was just hard on everybody because he was an old farm boy and that's just how it was back then. But I can see that, especially being a woman, being a little bit smaller in physical stature among men in big, burly construction situations, sort of thing. And the work is physically demanding. So you probably even had to step up your level of physical toughness, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah. And I work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
There's a lot of things that I'll do that make my work easier, but I've had to.
yeah, and that makes perfect sense as far as the health, safety, and wellness perspective is where my automatic attitude always goes since I've been hurt, especially where you don't have to work so hard if you plan and prepare a little bit more and think about things a little bit longer and make a real definite work safe plan and follow
Oh, and
protocol.
ultimately doing that makes it safer.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
think longer on it, it's going to be safer.
yeah, exactly. And the company saves money because there's less accidents. It's just a whole ripple effect in a good way.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, I'm thinking about how you've come so far, you've done so much. You're obviously a mentor for men, women, anybody who's been around you. Are there any like aha moments or times when you've just felt, yeah, this is the right spot for me, where you just feel proud of what you've done?
Oh, I have quite a few of those actually. I think a lot of my aha moments come when I'm actually instructing, when I'm in front of a class, especially our fellow CUSW members, when I have a class of the CUSW electricians and apprentices, and I'm talking about electrical safety, and I look at the group and I feel that connection. I feel that they're really understanding that passion that I'm showing and that I'm getting, and I think it brings a better connection to the material itself and then to us as members is working together. So
Right.
I have a lot of those in the training environment, and I think that's why I'm so comfortable with it and I enjoy it.
Yeah. I look at you, and I've never worked with you on a job site in work boots on the tools sort of thing, but we have worked side by side on a table to fulfill the needs of the union and working on the committee works that we do, the capacity building training sessions that we partake in. And I can see, let's say the guys like Tom McLean and the John Wobbs who were on the tools with you. Now we're working side by side in the boardrooms and that sort of thing. You do command respect just by how diligent you are as a worker at the table. Going back throughout your career, 20 years on the tools, are there any times when you maybe felt you're overlooked because you were a woman? And to the men who did overlook you, if they did, do you have any advice for them that could kind of help them along the way to interact a little bit better with the women on the job site? Because the dynamics with the industry that we're in, it's always way more men than there are women. And a lot of men just don't understand that dynamic when they get on the job site.
I do have one memory that comes right to the front. And it was when I had stepped up into a sub four-person role. And I found, and my group found, that when other supervisors from other groups would come into the area and they didn't know who to look for, they would automatically look for the men in the room, assuming that the male was going to be the supervisor. And I think one of the best things that my group did for me was stand straight up and said, no, you want Michelle. Like, she's our sub, she's our four-person. Like, you want to talk to her. Just having that camaraderie, that working relationship where they know that you can do the job and you've proven to them that you can do the job, and they accept that other people don't always see it as quickly, helps to show that broader to everyone, that women are in these roles and we are doing this work. And it shouldn't be that old stigma anymore. And I'm finding that more and more we're getting seen because there's more and more of us out there. When I started at the Bruce in 2006 with our CUSW group, I was the only woman. Day one, I was the only woman. We had a journey person with us just before that who unfortunately passed away. And I was the next one to come in. And I think that change, since then, we have, I don't even know how many women members we have on site, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was at least 50 of us.
Yeah.
So it's come a long way. And the more we see women stepping up into these roles, the more it's going to be accepted. And that's why I love to promote things like leadership. We have training courses coming into CUSW that are going to focus on training our members as leaders. And I've asked for a portion of that to be specifically information guiding members who are stepping up, who are not the norm in the leadership roles, like women stepping into leadership and minorities stepping into leadership, because we have different challenges. And there are some different challenges that need to be addressed to help us step forward as the best version of ourselves. Everyone deserves to be a leader. And when there's barriers that aren't seen by everyone, if they're addressed, we can move forward at the same pace. And so I love the way CUSW has really understood that. And we work together as one group, not against each other, to make this happen.
That's a wonderful answer to that question, because you didn't really point the finger at anybody or specifically say, do this, do that. You just kind of amplified the fact that we're a union and we call each other brothers and sisters. And we really are brothers and sisters in the work family sense. And, you know, I look at my brother, my sister, they're equals to me because we grew up together. I wouldn't put one in front of the other based on who they are or what they do. They're just family to me. And I can say whatever I want about my brother and my sister, but you better not say anything about them because they're my brother and sister. And when you have that backing of your family, you're always stronger when you're together.
We have that within CUSW. All of our CUSW members, we're a family of members.
Yep.
And everyone has a voice. Every single person has a voice. And if we work to make sure each other's voices are heard, we're going to have the best union running for years. And
Exactly. Creating those safe and comfortable workspaces creates that bond. It creates the family atmosphere. It makes everybody stronger. It really, really does. Uh, I know you and I have talked about music, and sometimes you're having a bad day. You need to kind of get your head out of that zone. And you play music, I play music. Is there any kind of genre that you listen to get you fired up?
oh yeah, 100%. I'm actually a self-proclaimed karaoke queen. So in my car, if I ever want to de-stress, I will put on specific music to kind of change my mood or release my mood. If I'm particularly angry, I might put on some really, hard banging music and scream at the top of my lungs. And once that's done, if I want to calm down, I like to listen to some more meditative or calming music. And my music is pretty much all over the map, and I'm happy to say that.
Yeah.
But I
See,
definitely use it as an outlet.
yeah, exactly. And it's funny how you say that because I'm the same way, but I'm opposite, where if I'm angry, I don't want to listen to hardcore heavy metal. I want to listen to something calming. And I'm usually hyper and I want to go. And sometimes I need that break just to kind of level myself down. I'm often listening to like 60s soft rock or Simon and Garfunkel. It just makes me get in that zone. So I totally understand
Oh,
what you're saying there.
oh yeah, me too. I have a secret to share as well. If I ever want to get into a mood for studying or for focusing, I listen to frequency music and I just put it on my headset and block everything out. And I have some specific frequencies that just focus me. And
Really?
yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually tried frequency music, but I have listened to the sounds of whales and dolphins squeaking and squawking. And that frequency, I was really surprised how it actually calms me down.
Oh, that would do it.
Yeah.
The Schumann resonance of the earth too does as well. Yes.
Yeah. Playing,
That's my woo-woo stuff.
yeah, or sounds of the ocean. That's helped me as well, too. Helps me fall asleep. uh, okay. We've had like a really good conversation. Let's say there's a woman or even anybody starting or wanting to get into the trades, or they're in the trades and they want to continue further and move a little bit farther ahead and faster. Do you have any advice for those young people?
Oh, definitely. First, if you're just thinking about getting into the trades and you want to find out if it's a good fit, I would say reach out to one of the members, reach out to one of our CUSW members and ask them how they feel about the trades. If you're a woman looking into it, a young woman looking into it, reach out to a woman already in it and see because they'll have the best perspective that aligns, right? If you're in the trades and you're looking for some help or some membership and some guidance, reach out to someone who kind of clicks with you. If you feel like there's someone you could open up and talk to, go ahead and do it. Most of our members will take that time and will listen.
Exactly. That's how I kind of look at everything in life now, especially since I've been injured. I kind of had to reshape my life and take different roles and totally unfamiliar roles. Like I've always been in work boots my whole life. And then I just couldn't do that job anymore. So I had to start learning how to do different things. And I realized there's so many other people who have done the things that I need to do. Why not reach out to them and get their perspective? They've already done it before. You might as well take a path that's been already made for you. It just makes sense.
I love that analogy. Why blaze your own trail when you can follow a path? And
Exactly.
always diverge if you need to.
Yeah.
Your path might not be exactly what theirs is, and that's good.
Yeah. That's another thing. Just because someone has done it their way, it doesn't mean you have to go their exact way, but they'll still show you how to get there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've had a great conversation today, Michelle, and I really appreciate you being on the show and sharing who you are and what you've done. Your accomplishments have been phenomenal, and we're all very proud to have you being on the team in our family here at CUSW. In parting, is there anything you'd like to share with anybody at home? And like I always say to all the other guests, it really doesn't have to be specific to the CUSW, the trades. It could be anything you want. Just anything you want to part with?
The thing I want to share with people is have confidence in yourself. Believe that you can do what you want to do and go ahead and take the steps to do it. Even if you think it's a small step, it might be huge. And you can do whatever you want to do. I'm a firm believer in stepping up, and I think if you see it, you can be it. And that's why I did a lot of things that I've done, because I want to see other women take those steps. And if I step in and take it, someone else will say, well, I can do that. And then we have more and more people stepping into roles that they never thought they could do because they hadn't seen somebody do it before. You can, and you will.
And we are. We really are. And continue with that flow. The last time we were together working, you said something, and I actually wrote it down, and it was Michelle Holmes' quote, and I have it written down here. And you said, when we lift each other up, we all rise together. And
oh, yeah.
You said that. That's your quote. I don't know if you actually remember saying it, but I wrote it down.
I've seen a lot of things, Dan.
Well,
but that was a really good one.
It really was. It hit me hard. And we were actually sitting side by side, working together for 8 hours on a table. And you said it throughout the day, and it stuck with me.
It's so true, though. I mean, there's no sense in putting anybody down. No. If we all lift each other up and say, hey, you did a great job, everybody is better for it. And everybody then steps up and says, yeah, I can do that because I'm confident. I'm ready. Yeah, we do rise together.
We really do, and we really are. That's just how it's going. So on behalf of the CUSW Spotlight Podcast, we all truly thank you for being on the show. As far as the CUSW union itself, I know all of us brothers and sisters, we're all proud to have you in the family, and we truly appreciate you and your time. Thanks, Michelle.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan. And I thank all the members who are going to be watching these videos, because it's important to share the words and the experiences of our own members. Thank you again so much for doing this.
Thanks again. It's truly been a delight. For everybody at home watching the show, if you want to get in touch with Michelle, want to get in touch with myself, maybe you have some suggestions, ideas, maybe you want to be a guest on the show, please go to the show information. You can find all of our contact information there, and we want to hear from you. Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you for shining bright in the CUSW Spotlight. Let's get inspired and shine a spotlight on the CUSW.